Is it Lamborghini Urus? Urus?
Lamborghini Urus.
Oh. Hey guys, I'm back again, and today I'm making a super short, quick, straight to the point video on the new Lamborghini Urus. I nailed it. I've been trying to pronounce this thing forever, and I've been on Google for like what felt like 30 minutes trying to look for the pronunciation, and finally I found it, and I think I'm saying it right. I mean, it wasn't like an authentic like Spanish. I don't know if it's Spanish or Italian. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. So the Lamborghini Urus is actually the second Lamborghini SUV, or you can call it an SAV if you want to be like stylish with it. So SUV is sport utility vehicle, while SAV is sport activity vehicle. And so I guess you could call this an SAV because it's sportier than an SUV. The first one is the LM002, and that came out in the 80s, so the 1980s. Which honestly wasn't too long ago, but I feel like it reminded me a lot of the G-Wagon, of the old G-Wagon. And what else could I compare it to? I could compare it also to the old Range Rover. It was very boxy. Yeah, and I mean, I feel like those three cars, I'm guessing that they had, maybe they were in competition, I don't know. Was not born in the 80s. I do not know much about that time. This car is like a tier above, at least a tier above the Range Rovers. For the Bentayga, you're going to be paying about roughly 230, might be more depending on which features you have in the car, what sort of specs you have in the vehicle. And for the Lamborghini Urus, it's going to be starting at $200,000, which, I mean, it's definitely on the pricier side for their second SAV. There's going to be only around about 3,000 cars made per year of just the Urus. And so if you want to compare that, there have been 3,000 of every other kind of Lamborghini made per year. So having 3,000 is pretty much going to double production. So it should be pretty interesting to see how things pan out for Lamborghini. And I mean, I'm guessing people are going to be wanting to buy it. So the date that it's going to be released is going to be next year in spring, so really only a few months from now. But I mean, I guess it's exciting if you're into bigger cars like that. I myself am into smaller cars, like smaller, quicker cars that are like super nimble. However, I think it's still pretty exciting to see Lamborghini are finally exploring different territories, I guess, once again, since they've done it already. So you have 4 different modes. So you have Strada, you have Corsa, you have Sport, and you have Neve. I think I'm saying those right. I just read it and I'm just giving it my best shot. However, those 4 different modes are, of course, different depending on what terrain you're on. I know Neve is winter. As for the other, well, Sport is sport. Strada, I believe, is track. Don't quote me on this because I have no idea of how Latin languages work. And I've also, unfortunately, not driven a Lamborghini yet because I don't fit in one. Back to what I was saying before. You have 4 different modes, and the specs of the engine, it's a 4-liter, puts out 685 horsepower. I mean, it's interesting because compared to before when we saw the concept, the car that they actually released, it's a very different car. And I feel like a lot of people are sort of, I would say, disappointed, because I personally preferred the concept a lot better. It was a lot sleeker. The air intakes, I just like the overall look of it, especially the front end. I feel like it feels like for the grille and the headlights, it seems like for the actual vehicle have sort of been stretched out, whereas for the concept they're a lot more streamlined. And as well as the windows, they sort of, like on the concept, they sort of converge to a point, sort of, whereas for the actual vehicle it's not nearly as much. And of course, I mean, you guys can see some pictures here of the differences between both of the cars. Either way, I feel like you're probably going to be driving pretty fast, so nobody's going to really notice your car that closely, because the car goes from 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, which, that's quick. That's definitely quick for a car as big as it is. I'm not entirely sure of the weight. I feel like not too much has been found, at least on my part, about how much it weighs. So I feel like as more information comes out, I'll be able to compare it to other vehicles that are on the market and see what the best thing to go with would be based on the budget, which is $200,000. Let me know what you guys think of it. Either way, it's a pretty exciting car, and I feel like it's definitely exciting because I'm curious to see how it does in the market, whether it sells as much as the Bentayga did, because the Bentayga is surprisingly sold really well. I'm not a big fan, to be honest. It looks decent, but I feel like if I had like around about 230, I think, or $280,000, I'll probably not buy an SUV or an SAV. We'll see how the car is once it gets launched next spring. If you guys like the video, subscribe. If you guys like the video, like it, subscribe, share, and I'll catch you guys later.